Palestin ni sekarang dia dipecahkan kepada 3 area. Area A, area B, area C. Okey. Area A untuk orang Palestin saja. Orang Yahudi tak boleh masuk area A. Area B untuk orang Israel saja. Orang Palestin tak boleh masuk area B. Untuk Israel saja. Area C special. Area C macam capital lah. Siapa-siapa yang lahir area C boleh duduk sama-sama. Yahudi ke Islam ke boleh duduk sama-sama. Area A contohnya apa? Gaza area A, Hebron area A, Jericho area A. Area B contoh Tel Aviv area B. Kan? Walaupun area A diberi pada orang Palestin, 5 benda Israel jaga. 5 benda. 5 benda Israel jaga. Hak immigration Israel jaga. Hak ruang udara. Hak bekalan elektrik. Hak bekalan air. Dan hak security tentera. Israel jaga 5 benda ni. Sebab itu tuan-tuan sekalian, apa isu di Gaza sebenarnya? Apa isu di Gaza sebenarnya? Di Gaza sebenarnya ketika Hamas menang, Hamas nak minta 5 benda ni. Itu isu dia. Banyak lagi tempat Hamas menang. Hebron Hamas menang juga. Tapi kenapa tak jadi isu ni? Sebab Hebron berada di tengah-tengah. Dia tidak bersepadan dengan mana-mana negara. Jadi Hamas minta 5 benda ni. Walaupun area A diberi pada orang Palestin, 5 benda ni Israel jaga. Kita ni pergi mana tuan-tuan sekalian? Okey, C area C Jerusalem. C Jerusalem. Sebab tu Jerusalem bagi pada 2. Ada East Jerusalem, ada West Jerusalem. West Jerusalem orang Yahudi, East Jerusalem orang Islam. Ada 2. Okey? Area C. Area B Yahudi saja. Yahudi saja. Ataupun orang yang menyokong Yahudi. Tuan-tuan sekalian, rakyat Yahudi 7 juta, 1.7 adalah orang Arab, tuan-tuan sekalian. 1.7. Ni Arab yang sokong Israel ni. Kan? Tuan-tuan sekalian, orang Arab ni kalau kita tengok sejarah dia penuh pengkhianatan. Allah pun sebut dalam Quran, innal a'rab asyaddul kufra wan nifaq. Orang Arab kalau tak beriman sangat kufur, sangat munafik. Banyak pengkhianatan. Bacalah sejarah Palestin, pengkhianatan daripada orang Arab, tuan-tuan sekalian. Cuba baca. Siapakah yang menombangkan kerajaan Utsmaniyah? Daripada 2 faktor, daripada dalaman Kemal Atatürk dan daripada 2 revolusi Arab yang dipimpin oleh Syarif Hussein pada 1916. Syarif Hussein nak jadi khalifah, minta British bantu. Okey, aku nak jadi khalifah, aku akan gerakkan orang Arab semua akan menentang Khalifah Bani Utsmaniyah. 1916 1917 Palestin jatuh ke tangan British dan makin berjaya. 1917 Syarif Hussein British pun kata, kau gerakkan revolusi Arab daripada luar, daripada dalam Kemal Atatürk kita dua pihak ni, kalau tumbang khalifah engkau akan jadi khalifah. Okey, Mac 1924 Khalifah Utsmaniyah tombang. Syarif Hussein pun dengan bangganya jumpa British. Okey, khalifah dah tombang, aku nak jadi khalifah sekarang. Oh, boleh. Jom kita buat petabalan kau di Cyprus. Oh, seronok dia, aku nak jadi khalifah selepas Utsmaniyah. Sampai di Cyprus dipenjarakan. Kau nak jadi raja khalifah sangat, kau penjara kau. 1924 Syarif Hussein dipenjarakan, tuan-tuan sekalian. Tapi setelah tombang Khalifah Bani Utsmaniyah, sebab tu dia sangat tekilan. Aku menyesalnya. Tapi dia tak guna dah, tuan-tuan sekalian. Akhir-akhir hayat dia minta pada British, boleh tak aku nak sembahyang ke Baitul Maqdis? Kan? British membagi, kemudian hantarkan sampai di Jordan, meninggal kat Jordan. Orang usahakan tanamlah sekitar Baitul Maqdis, sebab dah bertaubat dan sebagainya. Okey, tombang Baitul Maqdis 1967. Tengok sejarah dia. 67 waktu tu Jerusalem tak tombang lagi. Ya, apa nama, Tel Aviv sebagainya tombang. Ada satu tempat namanya Kastel. Kastel ni satu lembah. Okey, Kastel ni dijaga oleh orang Islam. Kalau tombang Kastel, Jerusalem akan tombang. Maka ketika Yahudi mula datang 1967, dipertahankan Kastel ni, lembah ini oleh orang Islam, dipimpin oleh Syekh Abdul Qadir Al-Husaini. Cuma tengok nama dia, Parlimen Islam. Tengok kat internet lah, boleh kenal muka dia. Dekat badan dia sentiasa ada Quran. Walaupun dia menghafal Quran, dia nak baca Quran tu dengan mata dia. Syekh Abdul Qadir Al-Husaini. 67 tombang Kastel, tombang Jerusalem. Syekh Abdul Qadir Al-Husaini meninggal syahid, tuan-tuan sekalian. Seminggu jenazah dia dipegang oleh orang Yahudi, baru dibagi pada orang Islam. Ketika dibagi pada orang Islam, tengok tembakan itu bukan daripada depan, tapi daripada belakang. Dari belakang. Kan? Jadi ketika Israel buat negara, 1.7 orang Arab menyokong Israel sampai sekarang. yang dapat kerakyatan Israel dan sebagainya. Itu ke area B, kan? Jadi kita ni mana, kita pergi area C dan area A saja. Kita pergi area B, ke area C, area A saja. Sebab tu kalau cakap kita pergi, kita masuk Palestin sebab sokong Israel, tidak. Sebab Israel pegang hak immigration tu saja kita lalui. Tapi kita pergi dekat Jericho, kawasan A, orang Islam. Hebron, kawasan A. C pun kita pergi dekat kawasan orang Islam. East Jerusalem, orang Islam, duduk hotel orang Islam, maknanya bas orang Islam. Cuba kata jemaah, saya kata, Ustaz, Lalan datang boleh tak nak pergi Tel Aviv nak tengok? Saya kata boleh. Saya uruslah, hanya perjalanan saja. Betul kalau kita kata kita datang bantu Israel, tidak. Kita tahu mana area kita pergi, kita jaga, tuan-tuan sekalian. Bukan kita tak jaga. Ketika itu kita bawa bantuan-bantuan, kan, dan sebagainya.
Mimi is in St. Paul listening on KTNF.
Hey, Mike.
Hi.
Well, I'm confused. I want to talk about Israel, and so can you even imagine any other country in the world allowing 530 rockets to fall before it took a step to defend itself? And then hearing the last segment, you guys were talking about not wanting to help fund the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome isn't just to protect Israelis. It's also so that they don't have to fire back and cause casualties in these areas of the Gaza Strip where the population is so densely populated. I just don't know. Tell me what you think would be an acceptable. When are the Israelis supposed to defend themselves? How can they do that?
Well, wait a second, Mimi. Let me just turn it around and ask you something. You are a family. You have lived in St. Paul, Minnesota, for your family and your antecedents for probably, let's say, 100 years. And all of a sudden, I show up on your doorstep, literally on your doorstep. And I say to you, Mimi, get out of this house. This is my house. Let me tell you why it's my house. It's my house because my religion says it's my house. Now get out. Now, I happen to be standing on your doorstep with a gun pointed at your head and at
Wait,
your...
who are you?
No. Hold on. No. I listened to you. You listened to me.
I don't know which side you're talking for, but okay.
All right, Mimi, I'm going to put you on hold so you can go ahead and interrupt if you want to. But I'm standing on your front porch, and I order you and your family out of your house. And I tell you that it's my house, not your house. And the reason it's my house and my block and my neighborhood is because my religious belief says it's mine. And you sit there and you say, well, no. What are you talking about? We've been here 100 years. I'm sorry. Get out, Mimi. So you leave. And the reason you leave is because you know if you don't, I'm going to blow up your house and probably blow up your family. So you leave. And you move down the street. And for the next 60 years, you sit there and you get very, very angry because I came into your house and told you to get out. So what you do, Mimi, you decide, well, I know what I'll do. I'm going to start throwing rocks at what used to be my house, and it'll break the windows. That'll make that damn Malloy move. So you start throwing rocks. And then I come outside and I say, Mimi, were you throwing rocks? And you look at me rather sheepishly, and that's when I level an RPG at you and your family and your house, and I pull the trigger, and all of a sudden, whoosh, you're all gone. Now, which is the terrorist? You tell me. But tell me on another phone call, Mimi, because I'm not going to get involved in a big discussion about this. Thank you. Wow. When does Israel have a right to defend itself? Well, when do I have a right to defend myself? I came in and took Mimi's house. So if Mimi attacks me, who's going to say, well, Malloy, you have a right to defend yourself because Mimi's attacking you? And somebody else will say, yeah, but you took Mimi's house. Yeah, but, you know, possession is 9/10 of the law. Nah, possession is 99.9% of the law. And besides, God gave me this land. What the hell is Mimi doing on it? All I had to do was come here and remind her, Mimi, get out. God gave this land to me. Now, if Mimi doesn't like that, she can go live in the little ghettoized area that I've set up for her near the Mississippi River in St. Paul, where there's bad electricity, bad water, the fish are no good to eat, and Mimi can stay there until hell freezes over. Or Mimi can throw rocks at my house. Used to be her house. In which case, I will level a couple of grenades at her. So the question, Mimi, is not, when do I have a right to defend myself? I stole your house. I stole your neighborhood. I stole your friend's house. I stole the corner grocery store. I took it all. When do I have a right to defend myself? You have to be kidding. You have to be kidding. Let me recommend a book for you, Mimi. It was written by Rabbi Meir Kahane. The title is They Must Go. Read it and call me back.